Tell us the little story, the little cute story about your granddaughter.
I had mentioned earlier in another interview, or maybe this one, about a metabolic programming. So my daughter took Juice Plus while she was pregnant. We have a fabulous pregnancy study. And so she took Juice Plus while she was pregnant and then while she was breastfeeding. Well, we know this thing called metabolic programming, that when a child is consuming all these foods in utero and through breast milk, they start craving them. The other side of it is we now have babies in utero with hardening of the arteries. So the foods the mothers eat really can impact children. And it really scares me to death, the future of our children in this country. So what we were told is that when my grandbaby was 6 months old, she would consume the capsules without any hesitation. I thought that's impossible. For instance, I read earlier, we are talking carrot, garlic, tomato, broccoli, cabbage. I thought that's not possible. But what we were told to do, Dr. Sears, a very well-known pediatrician, written over 40 books, said you just open the capsules. And we intentionally made these capsules, they're made of tapioca. They open up because we have so many children with autism on them, because they have texture issues and some other things. So we ask the moms to open up the capsules and put it into a smoothie or put it into something, or they can throw it into the blender. But if it's not a food that they're going to blend, let's say it's applesauce, you don't want that capsule floating around. So we've made it that way. So we were told when the baby was 6 months old, just open up the capsule, and we could either put the powder on a spoon, or what my grandbaby liked to do is we'd wet her finger and she got to put the powder on her finger and she would eat it that way. And she could not enjoy it more. So now she's 16 months. We simply open up the jar of each one. She has every single capsule. We hand it to her and she chews it. And after, she doesn't speak much, but one word she knows is more. She will chew this up and say, more, more, more. And so
Wow.
we make a game of it. We say, what color do you want first? And do you want the purple first? Do you want the green? And then we have to hide it. And we can't take it in front of her. If she's already had her Juice Plus for the day, we can't take it in front of her because she'll cry for it. So that's that metabolic programming. And that child will eat anything you put in front of her. Now, I will give my daughter credit. She has made sure she doesn't feed her processed foods. She never has. But she craves fruits and vegetables and such healthy foods because that's all she knows. She's been metabolically programmed.
I wish I had this information when I had babies. Fortunately, I got it better late than never.
Exactly.
So there was one more thing that you told me, and that was synergy. Explain that because you'll do a much better job than I will.
Well, as I said, every product we have, and we do different combinations of products and we test them. We test it specifically, like for the Journal of American College of Cardiology, we were looking at parameters of cardiovascular health. For our diabetes study, obviously, we're looking for parameters of diabetes. For our immune health study, we're looking for parameters of the T cells, the B cells, And one of the studies was to look and see, to make sure all the polyphenols that are in each of the fruits and vegetables and berries were actually showing up in the bloodstream. So they did a study. They had the people for several weeks had to eat a pretty polyphenol poor diet. But then 48 hours before, they couldn't eat any fruits, vegetables, berries. They were given a list. They could not eat any fruits, vegetables, and berries. And then they were told to fast 24 hours before the study. And then the researchers took blood work to make sure there were no polyphenols in their blood, that it was all out of their body. And then they had the participants take Juice Plus, and then they measured their blood afterwards. And so they saw all of the polyphenols that were in the fruit and the vegetables and the berries, all of them showed up in the body. But what they were most surprised about is this, what we call synergy of action. When some polyphenols from one plant combined with another plant, it actually created another polyphenol. So the body converted it into all these additional polyphenols to provide this protective effect that helps us prevent illness and disease. So it was astounding. And not only that, they discovered in another study, and I just have to throw this out, it's so astounding, these polyphenols stopped over 1,600 genes from turning on negatively. It impacted over 1,600 genes. So we are all born with genes. I, unfortunately, have been born with both the celiac disease gene, which I shared with my son, as well as the APOE4 gene, which is the gene for Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease, if anyone's ever dealt with it, it is such a horrible disease. I do not want that gene to turn on. And I know from these studies, these plants can stop those genes from turning on. So that excites me more than ever.
Oh, me too. It's very exciting just to hear it all. And so that's why I wanted to bring you guys this information so that you could hear it firsthand, just to know, for those of you that struggle with getting enough fruits and vegetables and getting your omegas in, there's a way to help bridge the gap. And of course, we want healthy food as well, but what a great way to, fight disease and really boost your immune system, among everything else, just providing everything that our bodies need. I love it. It makes it very simple, very easy. So Valerie, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to share this information with us. And you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you don't mind, give a little like and give us a comment, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a great day.